Better looking possessions of the day for Brazil. Here's Clark. Wow! You bet! From beyond the logo! And a little point out.
Caitlin Clark. Remember the name, because she's not just a basketball player. She's a cultural earthquake shaking the foundation of women's sports in America. This weekend, the Indiana Fever opened their preseason play, and while Caitlin Clark only played one of the 2 exhibition games, she already made waves. Again, after missing Game 1 due to what appeared to be a precautionary rest for a minor leg issue, Clark suited up for Game 2 in Iowa and delivered a vintage Caitlin performance. 16 points, 6 of 10 shooting, and 4 of 6 from deep, including, yes, a 36-foot three-pointer that sent the crowd into a frenzy. But the biggest story wasn't just her stat line. It was how her opponents, the Brazilian national team, reacted to her, not with hostility, not with jealousy, but with admiration, celebration, and class. You're changing the history of basketball. What you're doing is phenomenal. That was a Brazilian head coach. His tone? Genuine. His words? Powerful. His gratitude? Clear. And it's hard not to notice the stark contrast between how he treated Caitlin Clark and how many of her American counterparts in the WNBA have.
How are you?
You're an amazing player. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You're changing the history in basketball.
I appreciate it. Thanks for coming here, playing us.
Who is Caitlin Clark, and why is she being both celebrated and resented? Clark, born and raised in West Des Moines, Iowa, exploded onto the national stage during her college career at the University of Iowa. She shattered records, becoming the NCAA Division I all-time leading scorer, men or women. She led her team to back-to-back national title games and set viewership records in the process. We're talking about millions of fans tuning in to watch women's college basketball. Because of her, she's earned nil deals with Nike, State Farm, Gatorade. And now, as the number 1 pick in the WNBA draft, she's expected to do what no player before her has: commercially revolutionize women's pro basketball. A Brazilian ovation and a WNBA cold shoulder? Back to the Brazil game. After the final buzzer, Brazilian players, women of color, lined up to get her autograph. They smiled, they laughed, they posed for pictures. That moment was real. It was mutual respect, woman to woman, baller to baller. So here's the question. Why is Caitlin Clark receiving more love from Brazilian athletes than from many within her own league? While WNBA players are now flying private and enjoying sponsorships and elevated media attention, it's Caitlin Clark's stardom that brought that in. She's not just lifting her own brand, she's carrying the entire league. And we've seen this before. Remember when Tiger Woods hit the PGA Tour? The money changed, the attention changed, the entire game changed. There was some early pushback, sure, but very quickly, players understood. Tiger's success meant more opportunity for everyone. They competed against him, yes, but they also respected him. That's not happening in the WNBA. Not yet. Instead, what we're seeing is jealousy, resentment, narratives around race and privilege, finger pointing. Look, I'm not saying Caitlin Clark is above criticism, but this is where the hard truth lives. The WNBA as a business has been bleeding money for years, losing $10, $20, $30 million annually. Clark walks in and suddenly there's a surge in ticket sales, jersey sales, TV viewership, and brand deals. Yet some players, like Angel Reese and others, seem more interested in tearing Caitlin down than building anything together. Angel's entire brand right now feels like it's built on rivalry and disrespect. She trolls Clark on social media. Meanwhile, her on-court performance, missing layups and bunnies, isn't exactly winning fans over. And yes, we hear things like, A'ja Wilson should be the face of the league. But let's be honest, fans aren't showing up in record numbers to see A'ja Wilson, or Brittany Griner, or Kelsey Plum. They're coming for Caitlin Clark. You don't have to like Caitlin Clark. You don't even have to root for her. But if you're in the WNBA, it's time to recognize this moment for what it is, a blessing for the league. Clark's greatness doesn't erase the accomplishments of those who came before her, but refusing to give her credit for transforming the landscape of women's basketball, that's just hate dressed up as activism. What we saw from Brazilian team, that is what class looks like. That's what humility and perspective look like. That's what celebration over division looks like. You can call this fanboying. You can call it bias. You can even throw out words like privilege or supremacy. But what I'm really calling for is something simpler: appreciation. Because Caitlin Clark isn't just a star, she's a rising tide. And this league, if it wants to survive and grow, better learn how to ride that wave. If you're tired of the WNBA drama and just want to celebrate great basketball, hit that like button, subscribe for more unfiltered sports takes, and drop a comment below. Is Caitlin Clark the savior of women's basketball or just the spark of a deeper divide?
CC, one word to describe today.
Only one word. Unreal. That's fire. Honestly. Unreal.